And one of them also was that sometimes one thing is to look at the data and make your judgment, but oftentimes you need to have physical interactions to get the right number. You write about face-to-face interviews that you did with doctors to
Oh, yes.
figure out possible benefits from
Cancer,
treatment.
new treatments in
Cancer
cancer.
treatment.
Yeah, we used to do that a lot, and because it's actually, before when you're doing an experiment, in order to design the experiment and so on, in order to evaluate a new drug treatment, you have to have some idea in advance of what the benefits might be. Otherwise, you don't know how big to run the big the trial should be or how to design it. And so it's become now increasingly standard in the pharmaceutical industry that people do interviews of people who do know about the new treatments. How big do they think the benefit will be? And people often say, oh, I don't know. And of course, you do know. You know it's not going to save everyone's life, and you know it's not going to kill everybody. So come on, somewhere in between that, how big do you think the benefit might be of this new treatment? There's always a lot of there's quite a lot of optimism bias you've got to try to overcome. We used to do these interviews. They were more like interrogations. We used to sit people down, one on each side, and we wouldn't let them get up until they gave us an opinion because they didn't want to give their opinion. And you always get some people who are a bit optimistic. That's a standard characteristic. But we used to try to argue them. And I quote this example in the book where, we did one for a new treatment in, was it head and neck cancer? They said something, we think there'll be a 24% reduction in risk.
Yeah.
24%. And 12 years later, the results came out and there was a 24% reduction in risk. Now, that is quite rare, but it showed that they had some humility. They didn't think this was going to change everything. You just would not let them get away with being optimistic.
I'm assuming this was. Have you watched the movie 12 Angry Men?
Yes,
back in the day. So the kind of questioning that, was it Fonda, Jane or Jane Fonda?
Henry Fonda, yeah.
Henry Fonda,
yeah, her dad.
That's to every one of them, her dad, sorry, yes, and he gets them to change their view. I'm assuming something similar might have happened when you sat with the doctors.
It wasn't quite that bad, but we just, we had to grill them, and we had to feed back and say, sorry, I don't, this is just too optimistic here. I don't really find this implausible.
But which only shows that merely filling a questionnaire will not help you get to an outcome, and you really have to engage.
People have developed some interactive software that feeds things back and say, do you really mean this? And there's no single way to ask. You want some feedback. So, well, according to what you said, you believe this. And so you get people to change their minds. It's easier to do in a personal interview, just drawing something on a piece of paper, perhaps. But you can also try to do it on a form. It's not as effective. A personal interview is better because you can interrogate people.